Hello, lovelies.
You ready to get busy? Happy Motivational Monday, by the way. And congratulations to all of our sprinters who took this thing to the next level. My goodness, how exciting was that? Cassie's in the house. So's Yvonne. Hello. Yeah, this is a great sprint. Boy, did we have some people who are just taking it all the way to the finish line. Hi, Sarah and Beverly. She's ready. Yay. Hi, Carla. Carla had some great success. So did Jan. It was so great. Juanita. Hello, hello. Hello, Yolanda. Hello, Joanne. Happy Motivational Monday, Catherine. Good to see you. And Jennifer's here. She's ready to get busy. Yeah, we had, I could not believe everybody. Hi, Denise. And there's my girl Marguerite and Midnight. Hi, Midnight. Midnight's my cat fan. Hi, Angie. And Terry. Yes, we're going to talk about momentum today, Terry. This is good. You're in the right place. Kathy's here, and so's Mia and Sandra. Hello. Good Monday to you. Lucy's here. Yay. And Susan, you need motivation? I've got it for you, Susan. Hi, Anita. All these lovelies I'm seeing and reading all your stories. You know what? I haven't yet read everyone's story yet. I was there earlier and boy, was I impressed. Hi, Faye. She's listening while she's working. I love it. Good job. Yes, and Jenny is in the house. She's doing all kinds of stuff. So is Doris. Hello, Doris. How are you? Good to see you. And there's Jackie. Yay. Jackie also had some really good success this week. I am really excited for all of you. And welcome, welcome. It is Monday. It's Monday. Simona's here. And who did I just see? Catherine's here. Yeah, you're getting it tomorrow. I know, I'm telling you. So's Tracy. Oh, Barbara's in the house. I like to say hello to everyone. Hi, Heidi and Kathy. Yahoo. I'm glad you guys are all here. Yeah, we're going to talk about this. And I'm reading a new book. You know, I'm always reading some kind of a book. You're looking for the quote of the week? I just happen to have it for you. The quote of the week is a Benjamin Franklin thing. She who is good for making excuses is seldom good for anything else. Yikes! How's that one hitting you right between the eyes? Actually, it was a he, but I put she because sometimes we just need that motivation, don't we? So I toast, this is to all of my sprinters who did such a good job this time. You guys knocked it out of the park. I mean, we are talking about some amazing results, and everybody was so into it. I love that because, you know, this is exactly how we get things done, right? This is how we get things done. So, anyway, Tracy said, ouch. I don't know what you're saying ouch about. I hope you're okay. Oh, she was saying ouch about this. Mm-hmm. It is it is one of those things. You know what? Sometimes don't we just need it between the eyes sometimes? I know I do. I just need to be told and talked about what's what. I'm reading this really good book, you guys. This is somebody actually I know. I had him on, if you've been with Saving Dinner for a while, you know, we for a while there we were doing a new webinar every single month with some kind of an influencer, somebody who had something to offer our folks. And Michael Burnoff was one of them. He just put out a new book called Average Sucks. And it isn't about being average, it's about being your own average and settling. And it's just really been an eye opener for me. I've really enjoyed it, and I can hear him talking in my head. And he's a smart guy, and I really like him. But I started to think about everything, you know, as far as like what it is. Is it wonky? Just looking at my screen. There you go. That was a little better. I was thinking we've got the Leaning Tower of Pisa going on here. But, you know, I was thinking about everything in conjunction with what is it that we're trying to accomplish in our lives? And, at the end of the day, we all do want that nice, optimal, vibrant life that we're just playing full out in and we're enjoying, right? We want to play full out because we want to enjoy our families. We want to enjoy our friends. We want to enjoy everything that we do in life. We don't want to be held back. We don't want to be sitting on the sidelines. This is why we do the sprint. We go into the sprint because we are ready to get rid of that inflammation. We are ready to get rid of that weight. We're ready to get rid of the things that hold us back from what we want in our lives. Amen. That's what we're talking about. And today I'm going to give you 7 things that's going to help to move the needle in your own life and get you up and off of the couch from being just your own average, that you can start seeing that your only competition is you, right? There's some really good stuff here that I got for you, and I hope you're going to enjoy that. Meanwhile, we have been popping this stuff out of the door. This hot melt mix is just an absolute 100% game changer. And if you don't have it, what the heck? Listen to you. I'm going to tell you what, you buy 3, I will throw the 4th one in absolutely free. You just need to put 3 in your cart. I'll put the fourth one in for you free. Here's what you need to understand. This helps you hydrate like nobody's business. It helps you with everything. And as you're changing over from being a sugar burner, which you don't want because you're never going to lose weight like that, to being a fat burner, this does the trick. Not only does it keep you hydrated and get directly into the cells with all those electrolytes, but there's exogenous ketones in there too, which keeps you in ketosis, which keeps you in weight loss mode. It's fantastic stuff. Every single day I drink it, and I double down on this when I am working out and sweating because it helps to replace it. We have this notion that the only people who need electrolytes are athletes or hardworking, people in the gym who sweat a lot. It's not true. We all need them. And this is what keeps and holds us back a lot of times. Hydration is just everything. So buy 3, you'll get 1 free, and you can get free shipping if you put ships free in the coupon code. Now, this works only if you live in the United States, of course, but come on. How good is that? And you also get one of these. Look at our cute mindful mug. Pinkies up, cup. Pinkies up, cup. If you want one of these cups, well, just go order something, for heaven's sakes. Get busy. $200 will get you a mindful mug absolutely free. All right? You got that? I hope so. What else can I tell you? I think I'm missing some things. Oh yeah, that we are starting the Blitz. That's going to start next Monday. So get your stuff ordered now. Here's the thing. savingdinner.com/blitz. Go ahead and open a new tab and go take a look at that. It is a collagen loading plan. So we can get the collagen on, get the inflammation down, and when you order your protein, it's perfect paleo protein, unflavored chocolate or vanilla, you'll get the plan for free. Otherwise, it's $27. So that's pretty cool, right? savingdinner.com/sprint. For those of you who are saying, what's next? We start on Monday for 10 days, knocking it out. It is the easiest, simplest thing, and you're going to feel great. You want to feel great? You want to keep feeling great? This is the one for you. So do that. Friday's Q&A, send in your questions to support@savingdinner.com. In that little subject line, question for Leanne on Friday, I will get it to you. Okay, and don't forget, we've got some stragglers. I've got people who are asking me questions. What about this hot milk club? I don't get it. You can still get there. Go to savingdinner.com/webinar. You can watch the webinar. You get 10 actionable steps of what to do next. You can take this stuff all the way to the bank. You're not going to hear this anywhere else. This is my stuff, all mine, and you'll love it because this stuff is absolutely incredible. And you can also join the Hot Milk Club from there. I'm just saying. Pinkies up, cup. I love this. Don't you love the color? Isn't it so cute? So anyway, yes, I meant the Blitz, whatever. So we've done the sprint. Nancy, I want you to do the sprint next time. Yes, we've had the sprint. We also have people starting this week. We've had a lot of new people coming in. And I will also tell you that, listen, if you want to stay up on what's going on at Saving Dinner, you want to get the first breath of what's going on and where you can save some money, you want to be a part of our family. We have a newsletter. It goes out every single day called The Daily Dish. All you have to do is go to Saving Dinner. You'll get this annoying pop-up. Don't you hate those things? And you can opt in and give us your email address. I will give you a menu. So you can see exactly what we do with dinner answers and get you on the list every single day. You get something different. It's crazy good stuff. So that's what I have for you today. In the meantime, let's continue this discussion about community about communication, because communication is everything. It is everything, everything, everything. And think about this. I was thinking about this morning. Have you ever been in a place where you've looked at a relationship, maybe a marriage even, but a relationship where the communication just wasn't there? Do you remember that? It just wasn't there, and you just felt unheard. You felt like there was just no connection. When you have a communication problem, that communication problem, you start thinking about things. You start making a list of all the other things that are wrong. You start catastrophizing in your head, even. But communication is everything, because communication makes or breaks a relationship. When the communication is on point, so is your relationship, because you can talk about anything. Your relationship is improved. You feel heard. You feel loved. You feel included. You feel like there is, an opportunity to continue to build something. I know what that feels like. Believe me, I've been in relationships before where the communication just made me feel so awful, and it made me feel like, what's wrong with me? Why is this? And then you go and what do? You go see a marriage counselor or a community, and you sit there and you talk about all these things, and you see where you're just misfiring all the time. Well, I want to take this to a more granular level about communication. What if the communication breakdown is the way you communicate to yourself? Hmm? Have you thought about that? The way you communicate to yourself. The way you communicate to yourself is everything, because you can make or break your own relationship with yourself. The way you speak to yourself, the way you put yourself down, and the constant dialogue box that's going on is either for you or against you. I've yet to meet anyone who has had a neutral kind of like, oh, well, whatever, like I need to go do the dishes now or whatever. It's just not. It's usually this horrible thing. We get in our own heads, really, literally, right? And we're taking ourselves down. We are going down the wrong path. And because of one thing or one comment or just a bad situation, it's like it's time to divorce ourselves. you know we find ourselves just thinking we are just worthless. We can do nothing. We don't have the ability. We don't have the capabilities. We're crazy, and on it goes. Well, is that true? Or is it that we have this problem with the way we communicate with ourselves, and we haven't really sat down to take a look at what it is? We've looked at how people communicate with us. We've gone on Facebook and we talk about how horrible that woman was at the end of the phone. That was when we were doing a customer service complaint with the cable company. Or we've talked about, a breakdown in a relationship with a spouse or with a friend or whatever. But do we ever get on Facebook and say, you know what? I just talked to myself in just such a horrible, de- deprecating way. Do we do that? We don't, because we have this inner conflict that's inside and this inner stuff that's going on that's absolutely brutal, that destroys the very heart and soul of who we are. And if we can just stop for a minute and just start to be in our conscious level on this stuff, we can stop that kind of a Groundhog Day existence. You've heard me talk about this, that Groundhog Day thing where we keep doing the same thing over and over again. And the thing that's so incredible about this is, for the most part, we aren't even conscious of this stuff going on. We're not. You know why we're not conscious of it going on? Because 95% of us live our lives in the subconscious, where we're just on automatic pilot for everything. We're not conscious of what's going on. We aren't conscious of the fact that we're failing ourselves. We're not conscious of all the broken promises that we've made to ourselves. What we're conscious of is we just avoidance. Avoid this, avoid that. That's uncomfortable. I don't want to do it. That's too hard. I can't do it. I've never been able to do it before. I mean, how many times have we said all of this stuff? And I've talked about this stuff before. It's not like this is like, hey, this is brand new. Nope. But this is where we go. This is our default mechanism. We fall back into this place of talking about ourselves in hideous, hideous terms. So much so that if somebody said that about your loved one, or somebody said that about your child, you would be on them like white on rice and saying, come on, sister, you know, no, you don't talk about my people like that. But for you to allow this conscious stuff going on in your head, and maybe you're not even aware of it. Have you ever just listened to yourself? Have you ever heard and just went, oh my gosh, I'm saying these things about myself? When we can get to that place and do that, we can start to change and shift things around. So I want to give you one thing. I'm going to give you 7 things on what you can do to start changing up the communication that you have with yourself. Because the communication that you have with yourself is the most intimate communication you're ever going to have. It is getting into the very heart and soul and mind of who you are and what you've said for so long. And some of what we've said is outlandish and needs to be tossed to the wayside because it is old. It doesn't even stand the test of time. As a matter of fact, it might not even be true. You ever thought of that? It's something that we brought in when we were 5 years old or 4 years old, and it's the story that we tell ourselves. And it's the identification that we give ourselves that might not even be true. And I'll give you a really good example. So have you ever seen, being a smoker? Okay, I've never been a smoker per se. I played with smoking and stuff in college. I did a bunch of stupid stuff. But people who've had to quit smoking have to create a new identity because they're all about the smoking. When you're a smoker, you have to adjust your whole life for that smoking, right? You have to. Because if you're a smoker, you're going to have to go find a place to smoke. If you're a smoker, you're going to go have to buy the cigarettes. If you're a smoker, you're going to have to be careful of, when you're going to be able to, when you're not going to be able to smoke and when you will be able to smoke. When you're a smoker, your identity is very much linked to all the smoking that you do. And we could even say that about being a drug addict. We could even say that about being a carb addict or a sugar addict. It's about when are you going to get your next fix? And your whole life is identified and rotates around that identity. And when you no longer want that, then somehow or another, you've got to shed that identity and put a new one on. So I will ask you, what do you want to identify with? What do you want to identify with? One of the things that has just hit me, and I posted this in the sprint group this week, was I want to identify with fit. I want to be fitter. I like that I am fairly fit, but not fit enough. I want to be fit all the way from A to Z. Now, I posted this woman, her name is Ernestine Shepherd, I think. She's 84-year-old bodybuilder. She didn't start bodybuilding till she was in, I believe, her late 50s. But it was an interesting thing. I mean, she looked great. And looking great is one thing, but feeling great, that's the thing that I remember as every time I have been my fittest, I have been so fit that it just felt so good. I was happy with the way I looked, sure. And I got the size 6 jeans, sure. But the way I felt, the way I slept, the way everything came from being fit. So there's an identity to identify with. So what do fit people do? You do what the fit people do. What do fit people do? They work out. What do fit people do? They eat to supply their bodies. We do things that creates our identity. I love that because we can recreate an identity. So think about people who've quit smoking. They've got to create a new identity. People who've stopped drugs or booze or whatever it is, they have to create new identities that don't evolve and revolve around that kind of a habit. And sometimes for some people, it's real difficulty. There's physiology involved, there's biology involved, and there's a new mindset involved. And I'm just inviting you into this place of creating a mindset that will identify you and take you to the place of being your best self. Davina's asking a really good question. What's the first baby step? Oh, wait a minute. What's your first baby step to take to getting fit? Or are there three? Well, I'll tell you what my baby step is. I have equipment in my office. I set my alarm to do something every hour. I identify as far as being fit, it means that I move. I go up and down the stairs and I drink my water when my alarm goes off. 5 drinks, glug, 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 all the way down. Then I come back upstairs and then I get on one of my pieces of equipment. I have a stepper and I might do that just really hard, 30 seconds. I have a rebounder, I might get on that. I've got a little bike, I might get on that. I've also got a vibe plate, I might do some push ups off it. But every hour, that's what I do. It's called greasing the groove, and it's something that they do regularly. I also go to the gym, and I'm starting to think, twice about that, just simply because we've got COVID cases going up here, and I'm wondering if it's such a good idea to go anymore, even though there's hardly anyone in there. I don't know. But this is what you do. You start to identify by doing. Your identification doesn't come with what you think about. Your identification comes with what you do. This is why smokers identify as being smokers. They smoke. Yeah? So when you're an ex-smoker and you're no longer smoking, you've got to fill that vacuum with doing something different. And this is why I've seen people who have quit smoking who've just taken on something new, like getting fit, something new about doing that. Davina's asking about your products. I would say start with a smoothie. Here's mine right here. It's a chocolate one, isn't that? It's just like, it's derelict chocolate and coconut milk in it, all the fiber mender, all the things, and it's just delicious. I love that's my lunch today. It's going to make me feel good and it's going to hold me for 5 hours because I used coconut milk in it this time with a little bit of the fiber and all of that. It just makes all the sense. Good for you, Amy. I'm so, 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 so proud of you. Your identity determines what you think about yourself and how you communicate with yourself. So that's number one. Number two is momentum. Your momentum begats momentum. How about that? That is your motivation, by the way. You cannot stop. You cannot not have motivation, any kind of a motivation without momentum, and you can't have momentum without motivation. That one step. Take the one step, now take the next one, and take the next one. Allow momentum to do its thing. Knock down that one domino and let the rest fall down. It just works. It just works and it makes you feel good. And even when you don't want to do it, this morning, I got up, I made my coffee. I told you my 4-minute workout thing. That coffee thing went off early, and I was just like, oh man, I just finished the dishwasher. And I'm looking at the coffee and I'm looking and saying, time for a 4-minute workout, sister. And I did it. I just did it because I didn't take time to sit there and think about it. Momentum begats momentum. Make it happen for yourself and watch what happens. Do it anyway. Unplug from the emotion of the whole thing. Don't negotiate with terrorists, you know? And at some point you become almost a terrorist yourself because you're holding yourself hostage by not doing the things that you want to do, by having this whole discussion. There's no need for a discussion, just do it. Drop the excuses and do it. When you do it, you get momentum. And when you get momentum, you get motivation. And when you get motivation, you just keep going. It's amazing what happens. You don't believe me? Go look in the sprint group and just look at everyone who has done everything. Look at everyone who has done everything. I mean, they've gotten in there and they've done the work. They've gotten the results. What do you think that was? It was their momentum. Day one, down. day 2 and day 3 and day 4. Momentum, momentum, momentum. Keep going. I've got your back. I'm encouraging you. You can do it, with the community as well, because that's part of our thing too. But that's everything. Momentum comes in and takes over when you are moving, but you can't have momentum when you're sitting on the couch. Amen. And then number 3 is you got to identify and target exactly what it is that's going on. What are you saying about yourself? Are you even aware of it? And when you start saying and you start hearing it and you're starting to pay attention to it and say, you know what I'm saying about myself? I'm saying I can't do it. I'm saying that it's never worked for me before. It's saying that it's not a thing. It's saying this and it's saying that. If that is your regular conversation that you're having with yourself, you're not going to get to the place that you want to get. You've got to snuff out those awful words. So what do? You replace them. And I'll tell you right now, and I don't know where they are, but they're around here somewhere. I have a stack of 3x5 cards. And when I hear something I don't like, I immediately take that 3x5 card, I write in the opposite of what I'm hearing. You can't do it or it's too hard. I can do all the hard things, is what I say. I don't diminish doing something hard. But I tell myself that I can do hard things. Debbie says, I never talk down to myself, but I eat the wrong foods. Well, are you pleased with yourself with your eating the right foods? Did you say anything about that, or just say, well, it's not going to hurt this time? That's a form of putting yourself down. It's not going to hurt this time. You're not telling yourself the truth. That's part of it. You got to tell yourself the truth of what's going on. Ask anybody. We have somebody who posted in the sprint group that I think it was Marguerite. I might be wrong, but no blood pressure medication and no insulin this week. What happened there? Now, she had the momentum of the sprint going, and she was able to get to the truth of what she wanted, which was optimizing the results. We have to tell the truth to ourselves of what's going on, and that's what identifying and targeting exactly what we're saying. We might be dismissive, we might not talk down about ourselves, but you know what we can usually do? What we are doing, if we are doing the things that we don't want to do, and maybe we're not having that bad conversation, but we're having an untruth conversation. It won't hurt. Just this once won't hurt. Well, I deserve it. Well, I'm hungry, and this is what I'm hungry for. Meanwhile, what's going on? What's your health telling you? What's your waistline telling you? What are those numbers on the scale telling you? We don't want those numbers on the scale telling us that we're going to have a good day or a bad day, but we want the numbers on the scale to tell us the truth of where we are. That's our GPS. That is our GPS, and this is where we start. We can't start if we don't know where we are. So we have to target exactly what are we saying to ourselves, whether it's nasty and awful and horrible. But see, there it is. Debbie says, after I eat bad food, I say, why did I do that? And while you're might not having the conversation that's horrible and putting yourself down, you're also not having the conversation that's setting yourself up for success. And that conversation is, I don't have to eat this. I don't need to do this because I know what this looks like. It looks like I'm going to eat this. I'm going to think, oh, whatever. And then afterwards, I'm going to hate that I did this. I'm going to say, why did I do that to myself? That's the carousel of crazy. And it starts with a thought. It starts with, it's not that bad. And it starts with diminishing what the truth really and truly is. Because when we make choices that are against ourselves, we are not making choices that are going to hold us up. We're not making the choices that we really and truly want deep down, are we? Because if we were, we would get past uncomfortable. And that's what number 4 is. We need to be willing to be uncomfortable. We need to be willing to say, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with saying no to this because I know what this is going to lead to. Just like what you said, Debbie. I know what this is going to lead to. I know that I'm going to eat this, and then afterwards, I'm going to say, why did I do that to myself? And this is a pattern. And I'm calling it out because this is the truth. And this is the carousel of crazy, and I want off. Because the carousel of crazy is what puts us into the diet culture. It is what keeps us going around and around and around and never really getting rid of the weight that we want to forever and ever, amen. And not only that, but it holds us back from what our real true goal is, which is a vibrant life. We can't go on with doing these things. We can't continue to do these things to ourselves unless we want to stay on the carousel of crazy. We want to get off. We want to cash in our chips. We want to say no more to the diet culture because that's what we're doing here. My whole thing is this, and I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. My whole thing is this: I want you to graduate from me. I do. Maybe you come and hang out and you're here to encourage and be the people to help others. But I want you to graduate. I want you to get it in your head that you've got this, that you know what works for you and that what doesn't work for you. And that there's never, ever going to be another time in your life where you're going to count another single calorie, count another pea stick or blood poke, or ever have to talk to a doctor and negotiate with the doctor about wanting to put you on another medication. That's where I want to see you. I want to see you in the place where you're strong, you advocate for yourself, and that you own who you are, and that you are a strong woman. You have not one shred of doubt of what it is that you can and cannot do, because you can do this. Are you willing to be uncomfortable? Are you willing to think about what you're talking about yourself with? Are you ready to go to the place of absolute vibrancy in your life? Are you willing to redirect and think about the things that are going to expand in your consciousness and attract in? Are you willing to do that? If you're willing to do that, pinkies up, sister, because you are in the right place. This is what we do. We are all about this. We hang, and this is number 5, by the way, hang out with the right people. Hang out with Joanne and hang out with Jennifer and hang out with MJ. Hang out with these gals. They're doing the work. They're encouraging, they're supportive, they're great. This is the community that you need. Debbie said, I want to be strong and like myself. Amen, sister. Look at this. Catherine, sugar was down 100 points. She sprinted all the way and was doing her supplements. Bless you, girlfriend. I am so thrilled about this. You know, look at us. Look at us. We can do all the things. We can do all the things. We can do things that are just impossible, maybe seemingly, but they're not. Not when you've got the right community, not when you identify what's going on, not when you're going with the momentum, not when you've identified with who you are. That's how we get things done. That's how it's done. And I want to say this to you too. You know what? Get into the place of making some goals for yourself. Be that. Be that. Make goals for yourself. You know why? Goals aren't just for athletes. They're not just for people who are just all into this whatever. They're into people who've decided that they're going to live consciously in their life and not just default to automatic pilot. That's it. That's it. That's my invitation to you. Let's do this. Let's do this, living our lives on purpose. And let's stop, number 7, comparing ourselves to everyone else. For heaven's sakes, stop it. Just stop it. You are uniquely, wonderfully, fearfully made, your own woman. And that is something that you add to this community. And that's something that I treasure about you, that you are your own woman. But a mindful woman is a woman with wisdom. A mindful woman is a woman who moves the needle in her life in everything she wants to. A mindful woman is involved in her community, and a wise woman shows up. And you who showed up this week and crushed the sprint, man alive, including Letha, who said she's late, but I don't care. I'm glad you're here, Letha. You know what? Pinky's up. This is how we do it. We communicate with ourselves in a way that's loving, that tells the truth, and that brings us to a whole new place of who we identify as. We identify as women who say that they're going to do something and then they do it because they've got motivation behind them. They've got their identity straight. And when something comes up that isn't right, they get out a 3x5 card and they flip that business because it's not enough to just pretend that it didn't happen. We got to identify it and call it out. And when we do that, you know, what happens when you put light on darkness? You can see everything, right? That's what we're doing. So you got 7 things there. Did you get them all? This is it. You got your identity, who you are. You've got momentum to keep things going. You've got your to identify and talk to yourself and see what it is that you're thinking about yourself and be able to flip it when necessary. You have to be willing to be uncomfortable. You have to hang out with the good people, and you're here, so there's that. And you have to remember that goals are something that are really fabulous. You write something down, your brain starts to pick it up and take it to the next level. And then if we can stop comparing ourselves to other people and just start comparing where we were last week and what we've accomplished and compare ourselves to that kind of thing, we've got a winning formula there, don't you think? That's what I think. So I want you to get busy, okay? I want you to do this for me right now. If you've just post, sprint, if you're going to keep going, great. Keep going. Use those principles all the way. Those principles will save you from the carousel of crazy. If you're thinking about the Hot Milk Club, and even if you're not, please just go watch the webinar while you still can. Go to savingdinner.com/webinar. I've got 10 actionable steps for you that I want you to go take notes on and listen to. It'll take you 45 minutes to go through it. It was a lot longer because there was a lot of questions, but it will give you things that you need, information you need to take it to the next level, okay? And then the other thing that I want you to do is start in your self-care. Hydrate, sleep, you know the drill. Take your supplements, for heaven's sakes. I've got mine sitting here all ready for me to take with my smoothie. Stay the course. You know what? You are so worth it. You are so worth it, and you're a part of this community, and I think you're just fantastic. Joanne just said it's so worth it because you're so worth it, and she is 100% on it. And I thank you so much for joining me today for Motivational Monday, and all the hearts and all the love, and for sharing this message. And I want you to get the next collectible, the Mindful Mug with the pinkies up. Do you see that? Pinkies up cup. All you have to do is order 3 hot melt mixes. You will be set for a long time. I'll throw the 4th one in for you free. Ships free is your coupon code as long as you live in the United States. And you'll get a cup for free and a note from me. I love this. I love this. And I love that you're all here and that you're all having each other's back. It's incredible. Stay busy in the sprint, you guys. Stay in contact. And at the very most, you know, just write a little thing and say hello, whatever. I don't care. But just stay in contact. And if you have a body clutter buddy, oh man, you know, you know the drill. You're the bombshell. Thank you again for joining me today. You guys are the best, and I love you all. I appreciate you. Peace out. Peace be with you. Bye.